rolling.
All right, cool. We're gonna review the peek out Peterson combo that we've been doing. So once again, say he gets on the side of me, right? And maybe he's over here and maybe reaching over like they would try to get wrist control or something, right? So remember we talked about the basic Peterson, which is where you roll him, you clamp down on this arm and you roll him this way, and then you come out in a reverse scarf, right? So, great move, kind of a rookie move if you just do it there, right? So if he's going for wrist control, and I go to do that, and he predicts it, and then he sprawls out, I get squashed, right? So we don't want that. So we have to bait him. So if you remember, we're on defense. So we do what with space?
Space.
We create space, right? Offense, we take away space.
Yeah.
So I'm in defense, he's in offense, even though when you're defending you should be on offense. But that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other which came first, chicken or the egg discussion. If I'm defending but attacking, am I really defending? I don't know. Anyway, so for the purposes of today though, I am, you can go for there, right? So we'll go slow motion. I do my peek out now first, and that creates the space I need. And so if I sit out here, usually they follow me, and that's when I'm going to do the roll. I bait him into moving towards me by creating space, right? So he tries to keep up with me, and then I do the roll. So that gets him moving, just like Kazushi and stand up. I get him moving towards me, and then I roll him. If it was on the feet, I would throw him, right? So we're here. He goes for wrist control. I'm like, fine, have it. I clamp down. So now I'm going to sit out. He'll follow me and roll him. Sit out, roll, right? Keep this arm locked. Let him have the wrist. It's absolutely fine. You take like a reverse Keisugatami here, right? In order for him to really do anything, he's going to have to let go or whatever. So I clamp down on this. See what he's doing? He's already trying to shrimp towards me, right? So what do? I just block his hip, shrimp towards me. Boom, block the hip. He can have his arm back. Then I can start doing whatever I'm going to do. Take him out, you know, attack the legs if I'm in a reverse scarf or whatever. So once again, we're just going to work this move. So for the people that have never done it, right? For the rookies in the room, I want you to take wrist control. First thing you do, just do the Peterson plane. Right? I take out the base here. Whoop, like that. And then I roll towards camera there. Keeping this arm across, hand by the hip to control the hips, right? I got this leg on this side of the hips, my hand on this side of the hips. If I keep this locked, I'm wrapping him, like kind of tightening him up, right? So that's the basic first move that you'll practice if you've never done it. Then once you feel like, oh, I understand how that works, it's pretty easy. It's like winding up a top, right? Then you'll do it. You're going to do your peek out. Remember, unlike when we do the warm-ups, I'm not going up on my hand. I stay on my elbow, I pivot on my elbow. That's the pivot point right here. Remember, with all peek outs, you step forward, like a penetration step, just like a throw. I can't just do it from back there. I end up underneath him, right? I need to drive forward with it. So if I'm here, and plus I'm trying to create space, drive, I kick out all the way over there towards Andy. Wham! Sliding. See, he follows me. Then I take this knee and step over. Do like kind of like a hip switch in a roll. Okay? And we're back in that same position. So without a partner, the way you would practice this move is simple. You would do your peek out, step over into turtle, or just step over into a roll. Peek out, step over into a roll. All right, so one more time. And then we'll turn it over to you guys. Here, peek out, roll. All right? Everybody got it? Yeah, no?
Yep.
Yes, okay, let's go. All right, cool. So, can you sit up for a minute? By the way, this is Josh, old-time student from many moons ago. What's that?
The first video, I think, is
Well,
Paul Harris. Well, the
No, that wasn't the first video, but that was a big video.
yeah.
Lots of airplay. Look up the Paul Harris Fitch breakdown on the Sambo Steve YouTube.
All right. So we already know if I'm the attacker, if I'm using turtle, right? I know probably I shouldn't give him this hand so quickly, right? That's a mistake a lot of people make, is they immediately fish for that, and then their hand gets stuck. Maybe it helps them, maybe it doesn't. The other thing I know is that now I know he's probably going to try and do a peek out or a roll, right? So I need to control his hips. So rather than going for the wrist, I'm going to just still keep my weight here. And you guys remember we talked about one way to break down this structure is to get our knee inside the turtle, right? So we're here, and we don't just, a guy with a tight turtle, tighten that pull up. It's hard to get that knee in there. So you look for the floating ribs, and you drive your knee on there. See, look, it already made, I'm not kneeing him, but I'm putting pressure there. That opens, and then I slide it. Right, and now I could do my own hip switch. Now I'm kneeling on his arm. If he wants to be stubborn like that, it sucks, right? And if he doesn't if I get it in, then I can clear it like I do my own sit out type move. Right, I have the arm. But right now we just want to have that there. So we're starting to break down that structure. Rather than grabbing the wrist, I'm just going to do a switch, a wrestler switch. I'm going to put my hand on the inside of his thigh. Right? So slow motion now, right? And I'm still keeping pressure on. I want you to see what's going to happen. If he does a sit out now in slow motion, I have control of the hip right here. So this is what I'm looking for. When the guy sits out, I'm going to take the back like this. Right? I'm exposing his neck that way. So I get my knee inside, I go for this. I know I want the neck, so I'm just gonna have his hand ready. He does a sit out, way, there it is, ready for it. This stops him from being able to complete it. I can go for seatbelt, whatever. Get your back, get your choke, switch to armbar, whatever he gives you. But the whole idea is to slow down his peek out and even get him back to a seated position with me behind him. So we're here, here. He sits out, pull him back. As he sits out, you pull this leg back. That gives me great exposure. Right? Bulldog choke. Whatever. You know, there's lots of options there. But for now, I just want you to take the back, either a choke or a seatbelt grip. So do it slow, one more time. He's got the turtle. I get my knee in. Bam. Hand on the inner thigh, not the wrist. Look, if my hand is now, I'm kind of pushing, trying to straighten my arm. Right? My arm is pushing against him. So if he tries to wrap my arm now, it's very hard, as opposed to me fishing for his wrist. Right? So we're here. This hand's ready to go. I could be on his head for now. He tries to do the peek out. Bang! Hold this. Go for this. Sit him up. The sitting him up will be easy if you do it with the movement of the sit out, right? So, he sits out. Wow! Right there. Now you set up your choke. I still keep this for now. Grab the shoulder. If it's gi, you know, grab your own gi, grab the gi, whatever. And from here, I take the back. Now remember, go back to our choking rules. He should always turn to escape towards the choking arm, right? That's one of the reasons why this is so important. I let this go, he turns out, right? So if I'm here trying to set up the back, which is the leg that I put in first? I replace my hand with a leg. So he can't turn towards the arm because I got this hooked. Then I can start working for my position. Everybody clear? Got it? All right, go.